That don't feel right.
I either need to take a little meat off of here or I need to take some meat off of that.
There you are. That's one rotor installed.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Drybonesgarage Garage. This episode is a part of a series where my dad and I build a 63 Corvair hot rod. In this episode, Dad ends up rebuilding the front end of the car while I'm away filming the last episode. So I hope you guys enjoy.
things are substantially shorter than the G-body springs, but they're also a fair sight stiffer. I bought an OEM spring compressor, and if I'm honest, I'm afraid of it. So I'm going to try putting this thing in without using the compressor. This is just me being silly. I think this will fit in here. I'm just jacking this into place, but I might be absolutely full of doo-doo and this might get ugly really fast. Make sure I'm not doing this cheap. I think we're going to have to compress this. So how does this work? I've never used this tool before. I understand the premise, but I don't know exactly how this one goes together. Should have bought new. I didn't know I needed these, but it is what it is now. Well.
It's like a game.
It's definitely something. I think I should open this before I did any of the other stuff, so I understand what I'm seeing here. The question is, once I set that in there, am I going to be able to get that back out? I might end up regretting where I'm setting this. Let's see if I got a wrench that actually fits this pig. This is surprisingly compliant so far. Let's see if that'll do it. At least get us in the ballpark where we can start closing this up. It's kind of not looking like it though. And I can't go up with it either. Yeah, we're not getting that through there. Okay. If this thing lets go in my lap, that's gonna hurt. You know, the intelligent thing to do might be to actually grab the wrench and put it on that. Let's see if that'll do us. Oh, come on. Everything's kind of stiff. Okay, there should be a casting nut laying on the ground here. Silver, right here. Right here. I barely got any thread here. I just need enough where I can kind of manipulate this thing and align it without it just jumping around, you know. Work it in a little bit. Amanda's going to be shocked when she comes home.
I think.
Still waiting for the dust covers. They wanted $100 and some odd for a pair of dust covers for this thing that didn't have the ABS on them. $40 for the ones that had the ABS sensors. So I bought ones for an S10 that had an ABS sensor, and I'm hoping that they'll bolt right up to this. Supposedly these are good for an S10 from 82, I think it was,
Yeah.
to the end of the run, and ought, I want to say 2, about 4, for an S10, not the Blazer. Okay, let's see if I totally jig this.
Ooh-wee, that's stiff. That don't feel right.
Nickel interference. Why is that? Looks to me like that needs to be ground back. Or do I have those on the wrong side? I may have the uppers in the wrong place. I gotta go look at the boo-boo. If you look up in here at the spindle, or the knuckle, whatever you want to call it, right here, it just kind of keeps following in a straight line to the upper A-arm, and it actually contacts. So, I either need to take a little meat off of here, or I need to take some meat off of that. So that is verified the correct way, that those are supposed to be in there.
So how do you take weight off of that?
Meat.
What does meat mean?
Some of the metal.
Okay.
I'll grind some of it off. Clearance it. Clearance, clearance. There's still quite a bit that needs to be done on the front end of this thing. A lot of this is probably going to get filthy again, unfortunately. And that's product of my bad planning. Amanda's away. She's spending time with her grandparents. So I'm trying to get a few things done that I'm not going to say only I can do, but I'm better equipped than she is to do this, where she's able to do a fair amount of the fabrication, at least as well as I can. So I'm kind of saving that for us or her while I work on some other projects, which means I'm kind of relegated to some of this kind of work. This is actually a 1/2 inch wrench, but I don't have any that are particularly long, and I don't want to be levering against a tiny little wrench handle trying to snug this in. I have to say, when I looked at this thing, when I pulled it out of the box, I was a little concerned. So I bought this off of Amazon, a spring compressor, that the material is going to be a lot less rugged than it's proving to be here. And I actually expected this thing to collapse under the tension of the spring. Seems to be doing exactly what we need it to. So I'm kind of impressed. I'm going to call it lessons learned, school hard knocks, whatever. We had an issue on the other side. These are aftermarket drop spindles. Actually, everything on the front end of this thing is S10. We had some clearance issues between the upper control arm and our knuckle. So I did some work on it, clearance it, and rather than just jump right in this time and tie everything together, I'm going to make sure that what I did on this side is enough. The other side's already done. I did that in place and then just tried to replicate this one on the bench. So we'll see how this goes. I shouldn't say everything on the front end of this thing is S10. The upper lower control arms are, the springs are, and the spindle is. And we have just enough. Plenty. Nice. Okay. I think I'll be able to get away with this without cutting the springs on the front. We did have to cut the ones in the back. This thing should actually still slightly nose down, I think. We'll find out as time goes on. As I said, everything on here is S10, not G-body. I went looking for these dust covers for G-bodies, and the least expensive ones I could find were $105 for a set. So I went and found a set for an S10, I think 95 up, because the older ones for S10 were just as expensive as the ones for G-body. Essentially, they're the same thing. I think the S10 components are a little bit beefier, and that's about it. Geometry is all the same, at least with the A-arms, the knuckles. The brakes are a little bit bigger, hardly noticeable. I forget what the exact dimensions are, but it's almost negligible. Anyways, the 95 up have ABS sensors on them, which I removed, and these things cost me $5 or $6 shipping, tax, all in, and I got these off of eBay. I don't have the discs on here yet, but as you can see, they're bolting right up, just like they should. We'll find out about the clearancing once I get the discs on. But yeah, there you go. Pretty happy with that. Inners and outers are pretty easy to identify. But with a grease zerk, inners point in. Outers point down. Now I'm just kind of snugging this all together. I'm not ready to set pull on this thing. I haven't even tried to set camber or caster. If I'm honest, that's a whole new set of procedures for me, so I want to do some homework on that before I make any or take any action there. That, or I'll just get it close, get the toe close, and take it to a shop to have it aligned. Should be good. So this is the way I was taught to pack a bearing when I was a kid. Keep working it in from one end to the other until you can see it coming out the top of the bearing, which it is pretty well all the way around. Wet it down really well all sides, and you're good to go. This is a messy way to do it, and I actually have the tool, but for personal reasons I don't want to share right now. I just don't want to use that tool. Now that my hands are filthy nasty, I might as well keep going with this. Yep, that one's junk. Alright, need a new one. Well, we can get these seals in. Get this one packed anyways. So, literally that easy. Unless you drop one on the floor like I did.
He torqued the castle nuts down to 50 foot-pounds while keeping the rotor turning, backed the castle nuts out, and snugged it back up. This was done to ensure the races were set.
That's one rotor installed. Unfortunately, I dropped the bearing and fragged the carriage, so I'm not going to be able to show you that one. I guess right now I'm going to look up that part number again and order another one and move on to some other projects for the moment.
He then installed the sway bar, the proportioning valve, and began to install the brake system. Dad also installed some brake calipers into the car, but the footage for that was lost. Well, that's about it, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please consider giving us a like on YouTube and subscribe if you want to see more of what we're going to be doing here with the car. We also have a Facebook account if you want to talk to us more in depth over there. And other than that, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your summer, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!